Grace, welcome to the Baddie and Me. I'm super happy to have you today. How are you doing?
I'm fabulous. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have you because you're obviously one of the biggest baddies in the space. I mean, I love your content, but before we start, I have a question for you. I
I'm
want to
ready.
know, did you find your plus one for the wedding?
I do get asked this question multiple times a day. I will reveal that I do have a plus one for the wedding, but I won't say who, and you'll have to stay tuned on my socials, I guess, to see who it is for the reveal.
Okay, because I thought it was very funny. You made a post and you were like, yeah, I'm going to my friend's wedding in
Yeah,
Greece in June and I'm looking for a plus one.
yeah,
And I don't know, then your post got a lot of traction and people started making jokes.
yeah,
And there's even some guy on, I think on Farcaster who created this like mini app or whatever, and
yeah,
people could just apply. How
yeah.
many applications did you get?
Oh my God, I didn't even keep track of the number of I think last I saw on the Farcaster mini app, there were like 35 plus applications or something, but most of them were like not getting a lot of votes. I did see that the top voted application had like 400 plus votes, which I was like, that's crazy. Like there's too many people invested in this. That was such a funny situation because like all my tweets are they're authentic, but they're mostly jokes, you know? It's like we're just having fun on the internet. And so I had been talking to my friend, she's like one of my best friends from college, and she was like, "By the way, one of my close friends had a last minute dropout because of work stuff, so if you want to bring like kind of a random or a last minute plus one, then go for it." And I was like, "You can't just give me a blank check plus one. Like that's too much power." So I thought it'd be funny. I didn't think it would get that much interest or traction. It's definitely my most viral tweet so far now. I'm like, okay, we hit 300,000 views. Let's go.
No, that's so funny. And you're really a baddie because like all of the boys want to go with you. Like boys love baddies. But I have a
I was
guess. I
okay.
have
I
a
was
guess.
really scared that it was gonna, because like once it started hitting like algorithm velocity, I was really scared it was gonna hit like incel Twitter or like
Oh yeah,
woman
no.
hating Twitter, because you never know. Like when like TikTok will pick up your content and put it on the bad side of the algorithm because it's like getting so much engagement. I was worried that would happen, but luckily, I think the furthest it got out of like crypto Twitter was like alpha male Twitter, which was a very interesting new world that I also hadn't been exposed to.
But just like, can we know, is it gonna be someone that applied or is it someone that you know from before?
I think it will be someone that people are familiar with in the
Okay.
space.
Okay, cool. I have a guess, but I won't say it now. I'll tell you when you post. I'll tell you if it
Yeah,
was the best
tell me if it's right. Okay, I'm curious.
So basically, like I met you last year. I think it was last year around like Valentine's Day.
Yes, yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
yeah, and I
Through
think I don't
leverage.
know. I think it's Chelsea who introduced
Yes.
us, and she was like, "Yeah,
Mhm.
my friend has this Unlonely show. What was the name of the show? Like I forgot.
It was called Love on Leverage.
Oh
It
yeah,
was my
Love and
baby.
Liver."
Yeah.
And basically it was like, yeah, you can go on the show and you meet with a guy and people can vote like if they want to see you more, like talking with him, and if they want
Yeah.
you to have a date with him. And I was like, okay, that's fun. I did have a
As
boyfriend
you can
though.
tell, there's a theme to my content. It's like dating, matchmaking, voting, like crowdsourced interactions.
True.
This is
Dude,
not on purpose, by the way.
that's so true. After that, I have to know like why dating? Why is it so important for you? But anyways, like I came on the show and it was very fun. Like people voted me out because I talked too much about potatoes and fries. I think people were like, she's so boring or something.
But you created one of the funniest memes, like between you and Kaylin, the guy who was like your bachelor. That meme still cracks me up. It was like the conversion rate of like the chandelier to potatoes because he was in Ireland and they were like something about the potato famine and then to US dollars. Like, I need to find the chart somewhere. I'll send it to you and you can like post production edit it into here because I was crying. I was laughing my ass off.
I think it's on Zora, if I
It
remember
is on Zora.
correctly.
It is on Zora. It's
There we
totally
go.
on Zora.
Yeah, it was so funny.
For sure. It was all for the bit. And it's like crazily, I think we did 3 seasons of the show. Most of the people I had never met before, like I had no idea who you were. I barely knew Chelsea. I think I'd only met Chelsea because Mask had just invested in us. And so we got connected with her and Linda, who was still there at the time. So, like, I didn't know any of these people. And somehow everyone that's been on the show is like the best person ever. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a good filter of like quality and personality. And are you like down to just send it and like have a little fun, not be too serious?
No, true. And I watched like some of the other episodes and people were so fun. Like it's so fun to
Everyone was
watch.
great. Yeah.
So tell me more about Unlonely. Like how did you create, because you're the co-founder of Unlonely with your brother, right? How
Yeah. Yeah.
how
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
you get that idea?
The idea, how did we get the idea? I mean, I joined crypto because I got kind of fed up and bored and disillusioned working in big tech. I was at Google and then I was at YouTube. And at YouTube, I was like specifically on a team that was supposed to like support and empower creators. And I just felt like we were constantly gaslighting creators basically. Like our part of our job was like sort of just to lie to them and like try to keep them happy but not actually do anything to solve any of the problems that they were experiencing. And so I was like, is there a solution to this? Like, surely there's a better option than like what we are currently working with like just centralized platforms and ad revenue and eyeballs and clicks and clickbait and all that. And that was how I first like kind of got into crypto. I like bought into the whole decentralized platform and infrastructure thing and connecting creators to audiences and all of that. And then around the same time, I think Brian was like just very eager to build something. He has always been, as he would describe himself, kind of unhireable and unmanageable. Like he worked at a couple startups and like always tried to take his CTO's jobs. And then they would be like, yeah, no, you can't do that. You're like fresh out of college. So he started working on some ideas on his own. And we were talking and we both got into the crypto around the same time, which is kind of very random and serendipitous. And he loved live streaming. And so he like had always wanted to become a live streamer and he tried to, you know, build an audience on Twitch. Didn't really work out for him, but he started building an audience on Farcaster and then on Unlonely, and it kind of spun out from there. And we wanted to experiment with like different ways of connecting people online without this like platform intermediary, and we did a lot of different stuff with tokens. Brian was always much more like bullish tokens than I was. And the latest news on that, I'm not sure if you saw on Twitter a few weeks ago, I announced that I left Unlonely. So I'm no longer working at Unlonely, but I have a lot of love for it. It's like my first startup, my first baby. Brian is continuing on with it. We still have runway, or he still has runway. And I am taking some time to be a full-time baddie and seeing what's going to come next.
No, it's super interesting. Like your background is crazy. Actually, I didn't know like anything about you. I didn't even know that Brian was your brother. I knew about
Really?
that like yeah, a couple of weeks ago. I was like, what? Like that, when you made the post, I was like,
Oh my
that's
God.
your brother? I thought you were friends. Like
That's
I
so
didn't
funny.
understand. Yeah, and I think it's really interesting that you have that background, like working with like close to creators at YouTube, and so you kind of also understood what wanted, right?
Yeah.
When you started Unlonely. What are like some of the things that like creators want the most and that you tried to solve maybe with Unlonely?
I think the thing that creators wanted the most, from my experience, was transparency and kind of like equity and ownership. And I know like that's talked about a lot now in crypto, with interoperability and sort of like owning the audience. But at the time, like when I was at YouTube, it was like 2018 and big tech was still kind of on top of the world. There was no alternative model to that. And it was just sort of a given. You're like, yeah, okay, like I could spend a decade building my audience and like putting my blood, sweat, and tears into just building on this platform, and then it could disappear. Like either because they change a policy and overnight that affects me, and like they delete my channel, or like even by accident or something like that, like, or I'm suspended but I don't really know why, or I'm shadow banned, or I think I'm shadow banned. And so there's just always this like level of murkiness and this tension between like I'm providing value to this platform and this ecosystem, but I'm not treated like a value creator or like an equity holder in any way. And so like, you know, Unlonely was always really small and scrappy. And so I think like we had a dream and a vision of it getting to the point where it would be kind of like fully decentralized and there wouldn't be like one power that kind of is able to make these like unilateral decisions. But in the meantime, we focused more on the financial side and just like allowing creators to financialize much earlier, because that was the other problem, was like with any of these platforms, most of them you have to like put in, I don't know, 6 months to a year of kind of upfront investment to build any type of audience, maybe if you're lucky. And then you can try to monetize, right? Like you can't really immediately start monetizing. You like have to like go through all of these steps, and then even when you are monetizing, like no one was making the majority of their revenue through the platforms themselves. Like you were doing this off platform, you were getting brand deals, you were getting sponsorships, you were maybe doing a collaboration with a brand or something like that. And so like we just felt like maybe with tokens, this was a way to solve for sort of like bootstrapping attention, bootstrapping that initial ability to monetize your content and your audience.
Is it like a kind of Farcaster project or not at all?
It wasn't ever directly affiliated with Farcaster. That was just a community that we got involved in very early on. Like, I think Brian is like sub 1000 FID. I'm like 1189 FID. So we were like just very, very early to that community. And it was an awesome community. Like, it was super high signal, so many builders, lots of people like eager to try new products and like very supportive. And so it was like an amazing place to, I think, initially establish a user base, like our first 1,000 users or something like that. Like since then, we definitely tried to scale beyond, because I think like for a consumer app, you really like you have to go big or go home. Like you can't really focus on that small of a segment if you really wanted to like hit mainstream. So eventually we started focusing a bit more on Twitter. But it was always sort of like there was always a strong Farcaster base, I would say.
But I really enjoyed the fact that you guys always tried to like push the boundaries. Also, like I really liked I think it was one of the last projects. I'm not sure if you worked on it when you did the house, like the
Locked
reality
in house.
house.
Yeah.
There was like Lamb Chop and
Yeah.
other people, I think. And I thought that was really fun too, because like I was following Lamb Chop on
Yeah.
Farcaster, and then I knew that she was going there. And I don't know, you know, it's like when you're supporting someone on a social media platform or in life, and you see them, you can see them like 24 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, I felt like the experience was really fun. And I also really like how you guys kind of like promoted the whole thing and the marketing. It's like, it's very bold, you know?
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was kind of one of our last like big content swings that we did together. Like after Love on Leverage was all virtual, like it was all as you participated in it like over Zoom and not kind of like an IRL physical production. And then the last two shows, yeah, the locked in one where we had it was like a challenge where three people were locked in an apartment for 30 days trying to go viral. And the one before that was like the Halloween sort of horror show with Rasmer and Linda, and also really funny. Those were like definitely bigger steps because we had to find a venue, we had to like have people in real life, we had to talk to an entertainment lawyer and make sure that, you know, liabilities were covered. And I mean, it's a lot harder to scale physical production for sure. But as you said, we were trying to do big, bold, experimental stuff. And it was really fun, honestly. And all the contestants have always been great. Like Lamb Chop was awesome. The two other people that participated on that show, also great. And we learned a lot.
Yeah, I feel like it was always like people with a big personality, you know, like people
Yeah.
that you don't meet every
You
day.
have to be like pretty unhinged to agree to do something like that.
No, that's true. So true. But like, why did you why did you decide to quit working at Unlonely? Like, what is
Yeah.
your goal now?
I think it, like, Brian and I have always had pretty differing perspectives, but in a way that initially felt very complementary and like we were balancing each other out. Over the last like maybe the last 6 months of working together, I think the differences were becoming like more and more core, like more values based, in the sense that, like we saw the whole meme coin cycle and lots of takes about like, oh, the only product market fit for consumer crypto is gambling and speculation and meme coins. Um, and like, I just don't believe in that. But at the same time, you have to respond to what the market is telling you. So I think like we made a lot of attempts to sort of like make those visions and values meet. But ultimately, I felt like I was kind of compromising too much. And also that Brian is not wrong. Like, I think Brian was right about a lot of things in terms of like the over financialization of everything, and really like people are only using crypto to try to get richer and make more money. And like moving from base to Solana, like I know that was kind of a big dramatic point last year. And like how all of that happened wasn't super comfortable to me, but I still feel like intuitively he has been directionally correct for a long time. It's just not something that I feel super personally compelled by. And so like I think I'm still in crypto to some extent. We'll see kind of like where I land, I think, after my little like hiatus. But if I stay in crypto, it's because I believe in like its power to make things better and like create maybe like healthier relationships on the internet, or at least like at like more multifaceted or like multidimensional. Like I think I've always bought into the sort of like more ETH leaning side of community building and culture building. So we'll see. That's like how I feel right now, but I'm also feeling very much like a recovering founder and like taking some time off to like zoom out.
Yeah, so basically you don't like the fact that the space is very much focused on like making money and just people wanting
I
to.
get that everyone is motivated by making money. It's just the like extremely PvP aspect of everything. Like it would feel, I think I would, yeah, like I would feel better about it if it felt like value were being delivered in some way. Like, oh, I'm like actually using this product because I think it adds to my life, or like it solves a problem. Um, and that's just like not what we've seen. So like it's early, as everyone likes to say, and I do believe that. And there are like more and more projects emerging that maybe do have stronger use cases. I do think a lot of this is like more on the DeFi side, which makes sense. And I'm hopeful and like optimistic for like how that will show up in consumer crypto.
Hmm. Yeah, but I feel like there's a lot of people who also, feel that it's just like there are cycles in crypto, and you can see when people are active and when they're not. Like it's so
Yeah,
weird. When it's like a bear market, like more than half of the people disappear.
totally.
There's just a few people left, like the ones who believe actually, but it's very tiring. I feel like you need to be built for this because it's like I don't know, I personally feel tired all the time. Like it's been constant for like
Yeah,
really long.
yeah.
And sometimes you're like, okay, like it's crazy. You can't live like that for like forever. But
It's
I
not
feel
sustainable, but it's also like kind of addictive, right? Like it's like once you're in it, you're kind of like, oh my God. Like people are like, oh my God, would you like go back to big tech? Would you go get a corporate job again? And I'm thinking about it and I'm like, I think I would kill myself. You know what I mean? Like, not to be dramatic, but I don't know if I can do that anymore. Like, my brain it's too rewired. It's like kind of fried. It's ADHD online, like I
no.
just don't know if it would be a fit at
Yeah.
anymore, which is hilarious because I think that I'm still like very corporate for a crypto person, but I'm now like too off the rails to like just go straight back into corporate.
But I feel like what you're saying is so true. It's like you joined that community that like everyone's so weird. Like I feel like it's the only community where you can be open about being so like I don't know, like some people are just open about like doing drugs, talking like, oh, you're a retard, like using these words. You can be like, it's totally fine in crypto, but like if you go to like corporate, I think like most probably you can still do all of these things, but like people don't brag about it on LinkedIn, right?
I think
Like
I would have to tone down a lot of myself, which is like kind of sad because it's so much more fun to be
it is
chaotic.
it is more fun, but yeah, I also feel like it's, like there's so much going on and like it goes like the space evolves so fast and like there's so much FOMO. And I understand when you say like your brain is fried, like you always have to be online and always have to check like what's the new thing and this and that. So I think like maybe taking a step back is gonna
Yeah,
be like a nice thing for you to do.
100%. I mean, I have the wedding next week, and then I'm in Europe for 3 weeks. So like that's my holiday. Granted, I'll be in Berlin for Berlin Blockchain Week, so I'll tap back in a little bit then. But I think it'll be some good time off, like separation.
So you're just taking time off and you're not going to think about anything else than like enjoying life. Do you have like any idea of what you would like to do after that, or you just want to give yourself like some time to just breathe?
I think I want to give my brain the space to like get excited about something new again. There
Okay.
are definitely areas that I'm interested in, but I think like as a founder, you get so hyper fixated on like your one problem. You're like just so like in that niche that it's good to just sort of like take a breather and zoom out and look at what else is going on and talk to your friends and talk to smart people and like I'm very open to kind of exploring and like having exploratory chats with people, but like when someone sends me a JD, I'm like, I'm not applying for roles right now.
Mm, okay, yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it's nice to take some time off. But I wanted to ask you, like, do you think that using Farcaster, and okay, maybe X as well, but like mostly Farcaster, do you think that when you were building Unlonely, do you think that it was that the platform helped you to kind of shape your product and reach your goals?
Definitely at first. I think without Farcaster, it would have been very hard to get Unlonely off the ground. Because it's like it was a live streaming platform. Like it was
Mhm.
like you needed to have creators, you also needed to have viewers. This like trying to build up this like two-sided marketplace at the same time and kind of scale it like in kind of congruity of some sorts. That like wouldn't have had that initial takeoff. Like I remember when I was onboarding streamers, it was like 90% people from Farcaster that were
Okay.
interested in joining and interested in streaming. And then we like started building integrations in where you could get like notifications on Farcaster if people like that you channels that you were subscribed to went live. We did like a Zora integration when we were still doing like NFCs, like non-fungible clip moments, like highlights from streams. So I think like a lot of those product-led things were very like informed by Farcaster and the users that we had found there. And then later on, it definitely like took a big pivot and went very degen, was made for the Solana audience, was much more like content focused and kind of production focused rather than like scaling streamers. And that was like a different take.
Mhm. Yeah, because also, I really like the fact that, I mean, I started on Lens before Farcaster, but I really enjoyed the experience of, starting as with nothing on these platforms and like slowly building up a community that support you in building your brand or your project. And I feel like, I think you mentioned it before, like, for example, people on YouTube probably they have to produce a lot of content for a certain amount of time, and then I don't know, but I feel like YouTube is so competitive that it takes so long before you can build an audience,
Mhm.
and then you start monetizing, but mostly like people make money with brand deals. but I feel like on Lens and Farcaster, you can monetize like super fast.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a project in mind, your community is going to help you like shape it. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like this is something that's super like cool for us because if you want to do that, for example, on TikTok today, it will take much, much longer because there's like so many people and there's a lot of tools, but I don't think that you can monetize that easily. So I feel like, I don't know, like, how do you think that these platforms should be used more by creators that are still not on there? For example, there's a lot of people on X. I mean, they're used to being on X. Like, why would you go on Farcaster if you already have an audience on X? Like, would you recommend people to use them to build their brands or projects?
I think it depends on their goals. I mean, the thing with being a creator is that I've always had so much respect for like full-time creators because it is a hustle and it's so much work and it's like never ending. Like you can kind of you could always do more, right? And the like kind of boundary between your life and content becomes very blurred, especially depending on like what kind of content you produce. If it's more like lifestyle related, then it really is like anything that you're doing at any point in the day can be like taken and converted into content. Um, I mean, I think it's really hard because like switching costs are very high. And like psychologically, if you feel like you've already invested so much into building a community on another platform, it's always a hard sell. I mean, even I think before TikTok became kind of a necessary platform for people to be on, all these people that were on like Instagram, YouTube, whatever, like they didn't want to start at TikTok because like why would I create an account where I have to be at zero again when I have millions of followers on this other account? But then you have to do it to stay relevant. So I think the onus is more on the platform, I think, to like build such value that you as a creator are like, okay, I'm actually losing out by not having a presence on
Mhm.
this platform. And I think Farcaster could be that for some types of creators for sure. Like, I think crypto people, so far, at least the user base is like kind of much higher intention and they're much more willing to pay. Like a user on any other Web2 social platform is not willing to pay you, right? Like they're not going to pay you for your content. They expect that to be subsidized by ads. They might pay for a product that you promote, or like if you launch a jewelry line, maybe they're interested in it and they want to support you and they'll buy some of the jewelry, but they will not like just send you money unless it's like a Twitch donation or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think the model is super different. And I think for people that could like that are early, I mean, it's like early adopters to platforms that become successful. Like if you're willing to take a bet on Farcaster and it pays off for you in the long run, then you could be like the next Emma Chamberlain of Farcaster or something like that. Then that's amazing. But
Yeah.
it's a risk, right? You never know.
Yeah, exactly. I like what you're saying, but I feel like it's also another negative part of crypto is that there's so many like, platforms,
Hmm.
that emerge every day, and people are like, yeah, you should try this.
It's so
Like,
hard to know like what is actually worth investing your time. Is like it feels like, yeah, to your point about FOMO, it's like you have to try every new thing in case it is the next big thing, but there's so many that are like false positives that you end up burning out because it's like, oh my God, and now I have to start from scratch on XYZ new thing, like hot new thing that I need to be active on.
exactly, it never ends,
It never
which is
ends. No.
which is really crazy. But I feel like Farcaster is showing people that they're going on the right side. Like, I don't know if you saw, but like yesterday they launched the pro badges. Like,
Yeah.
did you buy it?
I did not buy it yet.
They sold like 10K. I
That's
think it's
crazy.
crazy. I was like, are they gonna manage or no? So it means that people are interested for sure. And there's probably a future for a couple of years. Like, I don't know how long it will stay because we never know. But at least it's showing
Well,
that
I mean,
there's
we at least know that they, raised $100 million in funding, so I think they'll be around.
yeah.
They'll be operating.
Yeah, no, true. That's a lot of money
But
for
yeah,
sure.
hard to know if they will like be the most relevant, hottest social app on the scene or whatever.
Yeah, no, true. Are you planning to stay active on there?
I mean, I totally go through waves, like my own cycles of content and fatigue with being online and like having a presence. Sometimes it's really fun and really organic and it just like with the Grease post, like that was literally just for fun and then like brought a lot of like joy and excitement into my life. So I was like, amazing. Sometimes it feels more like a job and granted, I think that was like more so also when I was building and I felt like I had to like keep pushing and keep like creating the brand and like maybe like chilling things that I wasn't actually that excited about. And so that was harder for me personally. But at this point, I feel like I have a good balance of like what I know works for me on X and on Farcaster. It's interesting because it's like a very different vibe. Like the I've always said this because I remember being like one of my friends is near who built Yup, and Yup was like ideally this like solution to, oh my god, there are so many fragmented platforms, but I can post on all of them at once, right? From like one thing and like manage all my accounts. And like theoretically that was such a great idea, but then in practice the content that I post on X does not perform on Farcaster and vice versa. So it didn't end up really solving that problem because it's like I have to cater the content and the tone and the voice and whatever and the reactions based on what I know about my audience on each one of these platforms. So I don't think it's something that I'm like really overthinking at the moment. But I think my ex persona is like more unhinged and my Farcaster one is a little bit more like, these are my friends, like these are my homies. I've like met a lot of you in person.
Yeah, no, that's true. I feel like each platform has a different type of audience, and like some people like prefer some kind of content for sure. I never cross post. How do you describe your persona online, and why do you like to talk about dating? Why are you so passionate about dating?
I think it's like a little sassy. It's a little tongue in cheek. It's not very serious. Um, but I think it's like more positive. Like I don't like to just like hate on things or people like kind of unnecessarily. Like I'll call people out, but like only if I feel very strongly about something. That's like I think where me and Brian's personal brand differentiates a lot. Like he just like loves to stir up drama and he loves to post a hot take and he just like loves to piss people off because he's like the haters fuel me and I'm like I don't want haters. So I don't want anyone to hate me. Which, you know, maybe is a weakness. I'm getting used to it. I'm learning to embrace the haters as well. Um, but why do I talk about dating? I mean, it happened really very naturally where the show started off like Love on Leverage was born, I think, fall of 2022. No, 23. Fall of 2023. So like just over 2 years ago, maybe. Or almost 2 years ago. And I think it was Ted actually. Oh my God, I'm remembering the origin story. Okay, so Ted was streaming pretty actively on Unlonely at the time. And she was like, how funny would it be if I did like a blind Zoom date with this other guy on Farcaster? And we were like, amazing. Like, do it right now. That sounds so funny. Like, and then she ended up making, I think like $300 or $400 in her TED token from this one like 1 hour dating episode that she did. And we were like, there's something here. Like people are loving this. Like people are basically wanting to like short or long the date and like the vibes of the date while it's occurring in real time. And so I started talking to Winnie and LDF about it, and they were like, we need to make this happen. And so that's the origin story of Love on Leverage, which was like the actual dating show where I was basically blind matchmaking people, throwing them onto a Zoom, and then like letting people bet on it, which you were a part of. Then, like, that whole time I was in a relationship. Like, I was in a long term relationship for 4 years. And so I was like, this is so fun. I just get to matchmake my friends, and like, I'm behind the scenes, and I'm just kind of like running the show. And then, like, 8 or 9 months ago, I became single and I moved to New York, and I was like, wait a second. I get to be I get to be the star of my own matchmaking now. And there was a period of time too where I was like, Brian, I think the next show needs to be like a Love and Leverage where I am the Bachelorette. Like I think the people want to see that. And like he was like, no, we've like so overdone the dating thing. Oh my God, like people are tired from that format, blah blah blah. And I was like, you're full of shit. So anyway, I just took it over and I made it my own personal brand, and I like to rub it in his face that I was absolutely right. Like this is what the people want. Like they didn't want some Halloween horror show, as fun as that was. They wanted to see me go on dates.
Yeah, no, but it's true. And I mean, you can still see it with your last post when you ask like who's gonna be my plus one. Like people want that.
Exactly.
You could
Exactly.
actually make
Imagine
a
if that were
show.
just the new Unlonely show.
Yeah,
Crazy.
you could actually make a show about yourself. I'm sure like people would love it. It would be so fun. But I really like that because as a girl in the space, I feel like when I stumble upon your type of content, I feel so much empowered because, you know, I don't know, is it just a cultural thing? Because like I'm half Lebanese and of course, I don't think like I don't show my parents like everything I post. Even
Sure.
like I think it's okay, but I also post sometimes about dating and things like that just for fun because I think it's funny. But I feel as women, it empowers us super much to see another woman post about, just being free-minded and just doing her own things and being funny and not caring so much about what others are gonna say because I feel like for years it wasn't so okay, to post things like this. And yeah, I just feel very empowered and I really like your content and I think you should like really push it even more.
Go even further. Take it all the way.
Yeah. Do you have any references, like any other women that you're following and that, inspire you to create your post?
Yeah. I think it happens very subliminally. Like, I mean, we're like consuming content all the time, and I think when it like sticks in my brain, then it probably becomes something that I refer to later on. I mean, there are so many, I think, similarly like funny, hot, smart women in crypto that I follow and that I'm friends with, and I think like their voices have definitely sort of interwoven with mine in a way that I probably couldn't point out to specifically, but I think like you had Katie on the pod recently. I don't know if you have Winnie, but she's obviously like kind of a top tier. Like I remember the first time I met Winnie, I was like, you have crazy ADHD brain because you are like literally like thinking about tweets in real time while having a conversation with me. And I was like, that's so crazy. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, she was onto something.
Yeah, but I feel like Winnie is like the model for all the girls in crypto that are trying to build something because
Yeah.
I feel like she doesn't have any filter. She's just gonna say like when something bothers her, if she's
Yeah.
having a bad day, the struggles of building her business, which I think is super important because on social media we just see the good sides and the good sides and people are always comparing like, oh, it's going so well for that person. How did they manage? And no, it's hard. Like it's hard for everyone.
No, it's super fucking hard. Building a company, building anything is a lot of work and takes a lot of like grit and determination and riding the ups and downs.
It is, and I feel like you need to be also built for it, where you have to learn how to, speak to people because I'm also like trying to build my brand and my everything around it. And as a shy person, it's very hard for me to ask for help or to sell myself.
Yeah,
But how do you want to build a business if you can't sell your ideas, right?
yeah, yeah. I also identify as a shy person, which surprises people, but I think it's like
Yeah.
it's something that I trained out of myself. Like I forced myself to overcome my shyness because I saw that it was holding me back. And I think like the way I get around it is like I can sell myself if I feel like really, really convicted in what I'm showcasing and selling about myself. Like then it doesn't feel like selling. It's just like me sharing what I'm excited about, you know?
Yeah, you definitely don't look like a shy person, though. You really look like
A
the
lot
kind
has changed. You wouldn't believe. I think like when I was like 9 or 10 in elementary school, if I got called on in class, I would be like shaking. like
Really?
shaking. Yeah, which is the total opposite of Brian, who like since he was 5 years old would like run on stage, grab a microphone, and be like, "What's up, everybody?" I'd be like, Brian, what?
That's so funny. Like, I mean, yeah, he obviously he looks very like
Such a performer.
confident. He's
He
so
loves
funny.
performing. Yeah.
Makes me laugh a lot. I think he's very funny, but you, I mean, I would never have thought that you were shy. Do you think that like working at Unlonely, like building the business, like really like built you to be more confident?
100%. Yeah, I think I was already like overcoming a lot of the like personality shyness throughout like I don't know, high school, college, adulthood, all of that. But Unlonely specifically built my confidence so much as a founder and as like a woman in this space that's like so surrounded by men. Like I had so much imposter syndrome at the start because I just was like, am I supposed to know what I'm doing? Like, and then the whole point is like, no, like when you're building something, you are making everything up as you go pretty much. Like, there's no rule book. And even if there was, you probably wouldn't be able to follow it for like what you're trying to do specifically. And then also, especially in crypto, like, what the fuck are the rule books? Um, so I think like my risk averseness has grown a lot. Like, I used to be or no, has shrank. I used to be very risk averse, and then I think being in crypto, like it beats that out of you. Like you
Mhm.
just have to get used to it. And then yeah, running a startup on top of that is like doubling down.
Okay. Yeah, but it's very interesting that you're saying that because I don't know. I feel like lately I have a lot of like imposter syndrome, and it comes like there. I have phases. Like sometimes I don't have it so much, and then it comes back, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I have that struggle where I'm like, do people like me? Did I do something wrong? Am I like, is my image okay? Should I text that person so they can sponsor me? Why would they sponsor me? And I'm like, it's just like so many questions. And then I'm like, I can spend a day like feeling anxious about doing just one task. So I don't know, like, how can you give like some advice? Because I mean, you've gone through that, I'm sure.
You just have to do it. Like think less, just do, I think. Like don't overthink, don't spin out or try not to, figure out like what puts your brain in a happy place, like if it's routines or being around certain people or staying away from certain content. Like I found TikTok to be destructive to my mental health. Like it's such a fun platform and I loved it for like when I had the app, I was like, whoa, I'm literally laughing out loud at like every single video that I'm seeing. Like this algorithm is so good. And then one day it like switched and it became so destructive where I was like, I'm so depressed from looking at this all day, but I can't stop. And so I had to like cold turkey cut TikTok out. I like haven't had the app in like 2 years or something because I'm like, it's just it's too good at what it does. Whereas I feel like the Instagram Reels algorithm is just not good enough. Like I'll watch a couple reels and be like, I'm actually bored. Like
Yeah.
this is not good content.
Yeah, no, but what you're saying is so true. I'm in that phase where I sometimes like try and fall asleep with TikTok. Like I wake up and I prepare myself, I'm watching TikToks and my
Mm,
brain hurts. Like I'm like, why am I watching it? But at the same time I can't stop. And then you're working and you're still like watching. It's very weird. Maybe I should
yeah,
delete the app as well.
yeah. Like I think doing at least like a tech reset every kind of or kind yeah like I don't know sort of like almost doing like a report, like a quarterly report where you're like, okay, am I still enjoying being on all of these apps? Like, what am I getting from them? And if
Mm,
it's like it's net negative, like delete it, cut it out for like at least a week to start or something, and then reevaluate and be like, okay, am I missing anything? Like, is my life better without this thing
yeah.
constantly like lurking in the back of my brain? And I think like 9 out of 10 times you're better off. Like you're saving time. You're like not getting brainwashed into some like random corner of the internet. Your like attention is better and all these things. So I don't know, it's tough. Like social media, I think I have kind of a mixed relationship with because I do think that it can be really powerful for good. Like I do love it. It brings me a lot of joy. I feel really connected to people. I've met like all of my crypto friends basically on the internet. And I think that's amazing. But it can also obviously be very, very negative to like your own personal health, but also like society as a whole. So I think, as with everything, like it has to be the right balance. You have to find like the boundaries that work for you. Like make it work for you instead of you just like becoming, I don't know, addicted to it or like
Yeah.
dependent on it. That's my perspective.
No, totally. I think what you're saying is very true. I feel like it just makes us depressed. Like it's statistics, like it's real. There's a lot of like documentaries and articles on that, so it's true. Like I'm gonna try that because I feel like I need to feel refreshed these days, and I need less negative thoughts in my head for sure.
Hmm.
But yeah, I wanted to know, like, do you eat fries and do you like fries?
I love fries.
Really?
Who doesn't love fries? Like, are you crazy?
Yeah, fries are the best for sure. And maybe one last question for you. Who are the people that you look up to the most in this space, and who should I have as a guest in my next episode?
Hmm. You know, as crazy as he is, especially online, I do look up to my brother, which is funny because he's my younger brother, but he's so different from me that I'm always like, I'm like both like the woman was too stunned to speak, like I'm like, how is your brain like that? But also, I admire that he just like has relentless belief in himself. And I think it's funny because I think like some people have told me that after seeing his tweet about like our kind of co-founder breakup, they're like, "Oh my God, are you guys okay? Like, is everything fine? Brian, like, is like, are you guys good? Is your relationship okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, actually, like, it's better than it's ever been, actually, because we don't have the stress and the tension of like the work issues and the kind of conflicting ideologies anymore." And we can just be siblings and like
Mhm.
hang out in New York again. Like yesterday, I had a housewarming and it was like him, his roommate, some of our old like childhood friends. It was super cute and it feels a lot more wholesome. Um, Other people I look up to in the space, like pretty much every girl that's in crypto, I look up to because I'm like, you have made it through so many hurdles. Like, you have really, against all odds, you're here, you're showing up, and you're still bad as fuck. So I do love that for us. Um, I don't know, there are so many. There are so many.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're right. There's just so many. I'm really trying to get Winnie for one episode, but let's see. I feel like she's maybe really busy these days, so I understand.
She is super busy, and I'm unemployed, so it's so good. It's so great. I think I was made for this.
Oh my God, and now we are going to Greece. Like it's super
I
soon. Are you
know, I'm
excited?
going
Is this
next
the first
week.
time?
I know I have been to Greece before, but I haven't. I guess I've never been to a wedding in Greece. I've never been to like the Athens Riviera. And then I'm going on a girls' trip to Kefalonia, which I've never been to. This is like a little island off the coast of Athens.
Okay.
So I think it'll be great. It's like
So
something super nice.
nice. And where else are you going in Europe? Like Germany, Greece, and somewhere else, or?
Yeah, Berlin Blockchain Week after, and then Paris for a couple days at the end.
Oh, you're going to Paris.
Yes.
Cool, nice.
City of romance.
No, I hope you're gonna enjoy your trip. I mean, Europe is so underrated. I feel like
Is
people
it?
that live in Europe, they want to go to Asia. I love Southeast Asia though.
Wait, I've never heard that Europe is underrated. I feel
Yeah,
like everyone loves Europe. I mean,
like
Americans love Europe.
yeah, but in Europe, like I'm French Lebanese, so in France,
Yeah.
everyone's like France sucks. Like people in the US, they have these big dreams and you can dream and this. And I'm like, actually, France is not that bad, you know?
Yeah, no, the grass is always greener, but personally, my favorite place is Lebanon.
You've been to
I've
Lebanon?
been to Lebanon.
Really?
Yeah, I spent
Wow.
like 10 days there. I stayed with a friend and then we also had this like fully planned itinerary. So I've been all over. I've been to Baalbek. I've been to what's the beach area called? It also starts with a B. Byblos, maybe?
Yeah, Biblos. Yeah, it's
Byblos?
super nice.
Yeah, so nice. I've been to like the caves, I've been to the vineyards, I've been to the mountains, I've been to Beirut, I've been out at
You've
Am.
been everywhere.
I've been all over the country. It's so great, and the
I
food is
must agree, Lebanon is the best. I think people don't expect it when
oh yeah,
when you don't know so much maybe about the Middle East, you're like, oh, how is it gonna be? But people are so nice. The food is great. They love to party.
a
Um,
100%. Like the culture is like 10 out of 10. Everyone is so nice, and yeah, like best partying I've had in a long time.
yeah, so nice. I'm so happy that you went there.
Me
But
too. Hopefully, I'll go back soon.
yeah, and also thank you so much for coming here and talking about like your experiences and everything. Like it was so inspiring. And thank you so so much.